yesterday. Hopefully this is okay. Let's see. Obviously, I wish there was different type of music, but we can get into that in a bit. Right now, the goal is to pick up where I left off. Let's see, yesterday, we waited on function, parameters, return, comments. This morning, today's noon. August 23rd, 2022. Pacific Standard Time. Live from Oregon, Pacific Northwest.
I'm going to be honest, this might be the funnest video of the whole course. We're going to be learning about input. And what's so cool about input is it allows users who are running Python code to actually interact and make decisions with that code. So let's go ahead and create our very first input, just all lowercase, type out input, and then do some parentheses. And inside of the parentheses, we need to provide a string. And this is going to be the prompt that's going to be shown in the console. So for example, just type here, enter some text. Okay, and you'll see how this works. So if we run this, you'll notice on the console, we now have the ability to type in some information. Isn't that cool? And we can hit enter. And what's so great is we can take whatever it is that someone types in and put it into a variable. So I can say, for example, user text is equal to whatever this input is, and then I can print this out. So I can say, I want to print the user text. So let's go ahead and run this. And I'll say something like hello, and I'll hit enter. And look, we get hello shown below. And what's so awesome is, for example, we can take this user text and uppercase it. So I can say upper here. And so now when someone enters in some text, it'll get uppercase. So I'm going to say again, my hello. And when I hit enter, it makes it all caps. Isn't that great? Now, one thing I want to show here, this is just a usability thing, is that when someone runs this, it's really kind of awkward. It says, oh, enter some text, and they start typing, and it's immediately right next to the word text. Like it kind of makes it hard to look at. So something that we can do is I like to provide a colon at the end of this and a space. So that when someone runs this, it says enter some text. And now when I say like Nick, for instance, there's a little bit of separation. They understand that, okay, after the colon, this is the text that I'm entering in, and they can hit enter. And boom, they get Nick blown up like that. So the one thing that I want to emphasize here is that when we get input from the console, it always comes through as a string. So for example, let's say I want to take whatever someone has inputted and I want to double it. So let's say I have an input here, and I'm going to say that the prompt here is something like, what do you want to double? And I'll do a space there. And we're going to put this into a variable that I'll call user number. And then what I'm going to do with this user number is I'm going to print out whatever that number is times 2. So I'm going to say user number times 2. So if I go ahead and run this, oh, we got to do the above thing. So what do you want to double? I want to double the number 8. So I put in the number 8, and look, it just takes the number 8, which is a string, right? Because the thing that we get back from the input is a string, and it doubles it in that it just repeats the string 2 times. So if you want this user number to be treated as an int, we have to say lowercase int, open parentheses, and wrap that string so that it turns into an int. So now if we run this again, and I put in the number 8, you'll see we get the appropriate 16. So this is where you have to be careful with the type, that we're always getting back a string. So if you want it to be something else like a double or an int, you've got to do some work to convert it. So to make sure that you've got a good grasp on this, I have a challenge for you. First, I want you to ask the user for some text, and then ask them whether they want it uppercased or lowercased. I have some example text here that might help you. So you can use what we already have up above, but basically just enhance it so that it doesn't always uppercase it. It lets the user decide whether they want to uppercase it or lowercase it. Okay. Hit pause, do that now.
Hold on.
All right.
Whoa. catch up here. Alright, we're gonna create one. It says this one is input. Okay. I'm gonna title this input. Dash one. Great. Alright. Perfect. Alright, let's catch up. So user text. This is gonna be cool finally. Alright. Oh wait, hold on. User text equals input. Nice. Oop. And space. Got it. And the print. Then user underscore text dot upper. Man, that uppercase yesterday, brain teaser that he put out there. Kick my butt. Underscore equals input. What do you want to double question? Okay. Space. For sure. So print. User underscore number. Times by 2. Doesn't have happy. Print user number. User text. Number. Okay. Makes sense. Hey. I caught something unhappy. So plus. First ask for some text, and then prompt enter either upper or lower case. Upward. Why not? Or lower case. And then prompt. So this is a comment. Like nerd yesterday before we ended the stream. See. All right. Let me double check the sound. I've been having sound quality issues since the beginning. from is either upper or lowercase. So this is doing the if-else statement. Maybe. Let's see, user number is what you want to double. Print. Okay, integer. Convert a number or string to an integer, return 0 if no arguments are given. X is the number, return integer. Floating point number, this truncates toward 0. So we still hear sound echo. Oh no. What would be a world application for this? No resource kind of logging in, logging out, interacting with the website. It seems like it's something similar to this. So what do we do the same up here up to a certain point? User text. Into text. So there you go. So think this is a F statements. Not quite able to put this together in my head yet. It's gotta be some statement. One of the statements like if user wants uppercase, then this else lowercase. If user asks for lowercase, then do this. And you can go. I mean, a billion different ways with. The user wants the other character to be uppercase, or the characters are lowercase. So in order as the list of characters the user inputs can add one case, the other case. So right now he's just asking for upper or lower. Maybe I can. Yeah, I can still. Oh well. I don't wanna deviate too much. Troubleshoot. Well, I guess I should have a good stream, but I need to learn this. I want to learn this. So we're asking for some text right now. make these quote-unquote comments so the code does not run. Okay. Okay. So that's working. So if statement. Oh god. And you either uppercase or lowercase it, and then prompt enter either. And then prompt either, oh okay, either enter either upper or lowercase. The problem statement is a little bit different than what I did at first thought. So make this bigger. So the next part of the problem statement is to then prompt the user with enter either upper or lowercase. First ask for some text and then prompt either and enter either upper or lowercase. User text. Oh, why can't I put this together in my head yet? It's not sticking. Sounds good. Are you sure, buddy? No echoes then. Microphone check. Sounds good. Sounds good. Hopefully. Sounds good. Sounds good. Text. Print user text upper. So if user So if I use, let's do it. I don't know. Okay, one. So before it prints out, you want to ask the question, you want uppercase or lowercase? Okay. So for now, we and then put. All right, buddy, we got it. Jeez. Ooh, a trend. Enter either uppercase or lowercase. Is that, I mean, is that what he's asking? First ask for some text and then prompt, enter either. I think that's what he's asking. Let's see.
Just enhance it so that it doesn't always uppercase it. It lets the user decide whether they want to uppercase it.
Now, hold on. Wait a minute. This is a different problem statement. What did I write? Oh.
Or lowercase it. Hit pause.
Ooh. Different problem statement. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna write this down. And then prompt and enter 1. What the? Reverse that. One. Either. Okay. Enter 1 to uppercase and 2 to lowercase. Okay. It's I don't know. Is that a thing?
Gonna go fast, gotta beat the red light, ain't no time lapse. In the nighttime, I'ma keep on racing the shooting stars till the dawn. We could be friends, but I won't team up. If you wanna come along and try to keep up, I'm the fastest alive. Ain't no practice if you insist, I'm a liar. How's about you? Watch me now. I'll prove you wrong in a heartbeat.
Upper.
Never gonna tell you how. Speed just runs through my bloodstream, yeah. I can't even explain it, but I know I'll never stop this feeling.
Upper. Synthesizer that is assigned to literal. Who is literal? Oh man, this is. I'm taking a shot in the dark here. 1 equals user text to make upper. Okay, so we got a problem with user text. User text.
Maybe I could take a respite listening to a lullaby, or maybe I won't even try. So how's about you watch me now? I'll prove
No?
you wrong.
What does that do?
Never gonna
What am I supposed to do here?
speed just runs through my bloodstream, yeah. I can't even explain it, but I know I'll never stop this feeling. The speed in my soul, the speed in my soul, and I can't even restrain it. So I'm gonna keep on running. The speed in my soul,
Oh shoot.
nothing's gonna stop me. I'ma keep on running on.
Wait, no, if you chooses 1 or 2.
I can't even explain it, but I know I'll never stop this feeling. Speed in my soul, the speed in my soul.
You know what I need. There's nothing like trying to learn something by yourself, figuring out with things online, but nobody to bounce ideas with. It's great.
Let's do that now. All right, hopefully that went well. So because we know how to comment things, I'm going to take the text that we have here. I'm going to comment this out and put it down below so that we don't have to worry about this. Okay. And then I'm going to go to work here. So we do have the enter some text. That's great. But then we also need to decide, do they want to uppercase or lowercase it? So I'm going to copy this here. I'm going to do another input and paste that in there. The variable that we should call this, let's go ahead and call it something like upper or lower. And we're going to set this equal to that. So the user should be typing in 1 or 2. So what we want to do is use an if statement to say, okay, if the input...
Originally, I had the right idea with the if statement. Why did I get confused? I like it. I like it. I like it. Can't get too low on myself. And I did the uppercase, lowercase input thing here. I did it with just user question. So that was me. And so, yes, things are coming together slowly, as expected, very slowly, but they're coming together. And the if statement, originally, before I even adjusted all the text, okay, I was looking at that. So the more I do this, the better it's gonna get. Let's go.
This upper or lower is equal to, and again, remember, this is a string. So if it's equal to the number 1, like this, then we'll want to print the text to be uppercase. So we're gonna reuse our code here that takes that and uppercases it. And in the else situation, which means they probably entered in the number 2. They technically could have entered in anything, and this will still run. But we want to take the text, instead of uppercasing it, we are going to lowercase it. So we're going to say lower here. All right.
Hold on. We gotta learn this, buddy. Okay. So your idea was there. I'm liking the way that I'm going with my thought process. It's going slowly, but it's moving forward. That's the key. Let's see, upper, lower, where we boom, 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 lowercase, and then we go straight into the if statement, because that's the question, right? Is it a 1 or a 2? So if it's a 1, then do this. Else, if it's a 2, then do this. Else, say choose. Oh, damn. Let's do that. If upper, wait a minute. There's a consistency with my type in there. If user question. If user question is equal to 1, parentheses. You know, that colon can't go anywhere. Print user text. See? User text dot upper. Man, I'm gonna learn this upper whether I'm gonna die today or not. But I'm loving it. Else. No. Question equal to wait a minute. Print user. Oh, come on. Text dot lower. Else. Okay. Print. One or two. Options. One or two. Come on now, let's go. Don't give me the shenanigans. You hear me? Mother. Alright, where we at? 17. Okay. What we got here? Rolling. Got a message. Alright, we're gonna enter some text. Today is the day we move forward with Python programming. Boom! Enter 1 to uppercase or enter 2 to lowercase. Boom! Please choose option 1 or 2. Hold on. How do we do that? Okay, hold on, let me see. Else. Hold on. Today is the day. Forward. Python program. 3. Let's go. Shit. I pressed 1 and it did not. Okay. Let's run it again. Oh my god, it's an end loop. What? I can't go back to that. Yes! Wait a minute. There's gotta be a more efficient way to write this, right?
drives on the empty highway. It feels like so long ago, but like yesterday too, you know. Now we just wanna go back again, and I can't help thinking about that feeling. Here where we wanna be,
Destiny. New season today. 3. Three again. Ooh. Oh, no, hold on. Okay, so the uppercase works also. Man, this is fun. But then again, we have to be able to kind of, based on the question, kind of write it out and then Python that sucker out. Oh man.
Working day and night, I know that you're tired, tracking the calendar.
Okay. I'm liking this.
Off the days I'm on my way. It feels like so long ago, but like yesterday too, you know.
There has to be a way to create a loop, right?
And I can't help
This is. Okay, we're leaving it on for now. What are you doing? Just do it. Just now you get a sucker out.
So let's clean this up a little bit, run this. So first enter some text. I'm gonna say capital Nick, and it says, do you wanna uppercase it? So if I say 1, look, it does the all caps Nick. Let's do the same situation where I have Nick, but I say, oh no, I wanna lowercase it. Look, it does the lowercase. I told you, this would be one of the most fun videos.
That was fun. I agree. Ooh. Cancel. Alright, so what term do we use to denote a function?
but like yesterday too, you know. Now we just
Oh
wanna go
my
back
god.
and I can't help thinking about that feeling.
Should have known that. Where do parameters go in a function? Parameters. This is a good question. So. Where do parameters go in a function? Oh, I'm liking this because this happened yesterday. So I should remember this, right?
Well, congratulations, you've made it to the final project of the course. We've learned so much Python, and it's gonna be awesome to wrap it all together here in this final project. So we'll be creating a number guessing game. The idea is that our Python code will pick a random number between 1 and 100, and then the user will try and guess it. And each time that they guess, we'll tell them either, hey, you gotta guess higher next time, or you gotta get lower. They'll give them some clue about where to guess next time, and eventually, once they get it right, we'll say, hey, you got the right answer, which was 42, and it took you 7 tries to get there. That way, they have this little score to say, okay, next time I'm gonna try and get it down to 6 or 5 or 4, whatever. So in order for us to create this project, we have an interesting situation. So let's just start building this, and you're gonna see where this comes up. So we need to get some input from the user as to what their guess is. So we're gonna create a variable here called guess, and this is gonna be equal to an input. Remember, we learned input's the way to get back information from a user. So we're gonna say, what is your guess? Question mark, and let's do the colon space, which just kind of makes it look nice. Remember, we want this guess to be a number, not a string as the default type that's going to come back here. So we want to convert this input into an int. Then we're also going to have the correct number. So for right now, let's just go ahead and set it equal to something we know, like the number 5. And then you might say, okay, well, we need to, ask the same question, what is your guess, over and over until they get it correct. So it would be really nice to use a for loop here. But the problem with for loops is you have to know how many times you're going to loop through. It could be 4 times, could be 20. They might get it right the very first time. We really don't know. So we can't actually use a for loop, but we can use a new concept called a while loop. And a while loop is basically a combination of an if statement and a for loop brought together. It's a great tool for when you find yourself in a situation of saying, I want to loop through something, but I don't know how many times I want to loop. I want to loop until some situation is true. So with the while loop here, we're going to say while, and we're going to say that guess is not equal to the correct number. Okay, and then we'll do our colon here. So this reads a lot like an if statement. Again, this guess not equal to correct number, that ultimately turns into a Boolean. And basically, this while loop is going to run over and over until that condition is equal to true. So while the guess is not equal to the correct number, it's going to keep looping through. But once that guess is equal to the correct number, then it will stop looping and we can run some code below it. So while we're inside of this while loop, we want to keep updating what the guess is. So we're going to keep asking, hey, what's your guess? What's your guess? And then eventually, once they get it correct, we want to print out and say, hey, you got the right answer. So let's go ahead and just do a little print statement here. You got the right answer. And even add a little smiley face. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. We're going to ask what's...
All right, hold on. Let me run it with you. There, Mr. Walter. Should I start a new one? Yeah. I'm not sure if I gotta do a new one. What in the world? Is this what we're calling it? What? Number guess. Excuse me. Oh. Wait a minute. There we go. And then we're going to define what the correct number is. The correct number would be 5. While statement. The while statement is used for repeated execution as long as an expression is true. This repeatedly tests the expression, and if it is true, executes the first suite. If the expression is false, which may be the first time it is tested, the suite of the else clause is present, is executed, and the loop terminates. A break statement executed in the first suite terminates the loop without executing the else clause suite. A continued statement executed in the first suite skips the rest of the suite and goes back to testing the expression. Let's go back to testing the expression. standard input, a trailing new line is stripped when the prompt string is given. It's printed to standard output without a trailing new line before reading. Okay, hold on. So guess, wild guess. It's not correct. And it will print. I'm gonna get out of here. Oh my god, what's going on? Okay. Alright, we'll fix that. Yes. We're gonna do the number. Okay, so while statement, we're gonna define, if the guess is not correct for this correct number, then we will define What is your guess? 4. What is your guess? 3. What is your guess? 2. What is your guess? 1. What is your guess? 5. You got the right answer. Nice. Alright, we're caught up with Mr. Walter. Keep on going.
What's your guess? I'll put 1, 2. I'll try some bigger numbers here. And you can see, well, I got an error here because one time I didn't put in a valid number. Let's try running this again. Okay, I keep putting in numbers here. And look, this will just keep going on forever and ever and ever until I put in the correct answer, which, look, I'm going to put in the number 5. And we get the message, you got the right answer. So this is the really magical part of the while loop, is it only runs as many times as you need to until that condition is equal to true. So let's run this one more time, and I'm going to put in the correct guess off the get-go. And look at that. Instantly, it says you got the right answer. It doesn't have to do it an extra loop. No, it just, as soon as that thing is true, it gets out of the while loop and starts running the other lines of code that you have. So one more thing that we'd like to add to our project here, we're going to add some details in the next video, but we also need to be able to count how many times they've guessed. So I'm going to create a variable called guess count, and we'll start this at 0. And each time we go through the while loop, we're going to say that the guess count needs to increase by 1. So we're going to do that fancy plus equals 1. And then eventually when we print, let's use an F string here. Let's really tell them what the right answer is. So we're going to say the right answer was, and let's put inside that correct number. Okay. Let's add a little message of congrats. So we'll say, congrats, the right answer was, for example, 42 or whatever it is, and then we'll say, it took you 43 guesses. Didn't really take that many, but what we'll do is we'll replace the number 43 with whatever guess count is. Okay? So let's go ahead and run this, and let's try some guesses, which are incorrect here. Okay, and we've tried all these times, but let's put in the correct guess, and it says, hey, the answer was 5, and it took you 7 guesses. Let's try again.
Oh, wow.
So let's go ahead and just do a couple this time. Let's say the third time, look at that. Congrats, the right answer was 5, and it took you 2 guesses. Now, look at this. It actually took us 3 guesses, so we're doing our counting incorrect here. So we need to make sure that this guess count starts at the number 1, not at 0. So let's try this again. We'll do 2 wrong answers, then the right, And now it correctly says, congrats, the right answer was 5. It took you 3 guesses. So we have a nice solid foundation for our project here. Essentially, the game is working, but there's a lot that we'd like to add here. We want to say, whether they need to guess higher or lower. We also need to pick a random number so the answer is not always 5. Let's talk about that in the next video.
Okay, hold on.
We're gonna
Hold on, this is pretty cool. Get this updated. Alright, so we're defining what is a guess correct number. Now we're gonna add a guess count. Start at 1, and then down here. Oh, okay. Guess what is their number? Guess count. Add 1. Correct number. Okay. Let's tell what the correct number is. Guess count. Guess counts. That. Guesses. Took you only 5 guesses. The right answer. You only 5 guesses. I'm liking this. Okay.
We're going to keep improving our number guessing game here, and we're going to start with the feature where we can tell the user they either need to guess higher or lower. So what we can do is inside of this while loop, each time we're asking for a new guess, we can use an if statement to check and see whether their guess was too high or too low. So we can say if guess is less than the correct number, in that case, they guess too low, so we need to tell them to guess higher. So we still want to do this line here that says that we want, the guess to be the result of an input and convert it into an int, but we want a message a little bit before guess that says, maybe we'll say wrong, period, you need to guess higher, because their guess was less than the correct number. So the else part of this and make sure this is tabbed on the same line as the if. We need to make sure that these two line up. We're going to also update the guess variable, but we're simply just going to change part of this to say that you need to guess lower instead of higher. So let's go ahead and give this a shot and make sure that it's working. So let's guess something below, like 1. It says you need to guess higher. Let's try 2, 4. Yep, still saying higher. Let's try 6. Look at that. You need to guess lower. Okay, so now the person using the game has an idea of whether they need to go higher or lower. The next bit is that the answer is always the number 5. We need to fix this. So because we're going to be using randomness, we need to make sure that we import random here so that we can use this library of code. And so I'm going to say, instead of the correct number always being 5, I'm going to say random.rand int, and I want it to be between 1 and 100. And you'll notice this nice helpful text here. It tells us this includes both endpoints. So we're secure in knowing that, okay, it's going to have 1 and 100. Now, this is also a good point to say we should probably print and tell the user that the number is going to be between 1 and 100 so that they know what range they should be guessing in. So let's go ahead and put a little intro here, and we'll say, hi, welcome to the guessing game. Please guess a number between 1 and 100. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this, see what it looks like. Hi, welcome to the guessing game. Please guess a number between 1 and 100. What is your guess? So I don't know what the guess is, so this is going to be the first time we're actually playing our game for real. So let's try the number 50. Okay, it says we need to go lower. Let's try 25. Look at that. 25 was the right answer. We didn't even have to go too far. Okay, you can see it worked. We got 2 guesses. Let's try this again. Go with the number 50. We need to go lower. Let's try 25. Need to go lower than that. 13. Okay, it's between 13 and 25. So 20, 17, 18. Look at that. The right answer was 18, and it took us 6 guesses.
Very cool.
Wow, isn't this fun? We got the basic guts of the game working, and really the last bit that I'd like to show here to really put some polish on our game is that I think it would be fun for someone using this game to make it seem like the program is alive and there's actually some life to it. So what we can do is we can introduce some pauses in between when things are shown on the screen to add a little bit of dramatic effect. So I'm going to import a new library here called time. And what we're going to do with time is just sort of put some pauses between things. So we're going to update this message. Hi, welcome to the guessing game. And I'm going to change this to say, I am going to pick a number between 1 and 100. And then I'm going to print out on a separate line here and say, picking a number, ... And then now it'll ask, what is your guess? So if we just run this right now as is, you'll see, hi, welcome to the game. I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 100. Picking a number, what is your guess? Just, there's no magic there. But what we can do with this time now is I can say, okay, I want to say time.sleep, and you just put in the number of seconds that you want things to pause. So maybe I'll put 3 seconds here, and then after picking a number, I'm going to put 2 seconds. So I'm going to say time.sleep and add 2 seconds here. And I want you to notice the feel of this now. So if we stop and run this again, hi, welcome to the guessing game. I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 100. Picking a number. What is your guess? Do you see how now there's just a little bit of life here? And so I'll go ahead and make my guess, and it says 50, and it can say wrong. You need to guess lower. You can decide if you want to have a sleep inside of here. So you could say, you know, let's at least give 1 second to give back an answer. Like we could say, let's do a sleep for like 1. Let's see how this feels. So we'll stop and run this again. Hi, welcome to the guessing game. Pick a number between 1 and 100. Picking a number. What's your guess? 50. Wrong. You need to guess higher. What's your guess? 75. Wrong. And so, at least to me, even though technically we do not need these time sleeps at all, in fact, it's making our program here slower, I think this really brings a little bit of magic to the situation in that someone is actually thinking, hey, I think this code is thinking and making this guess, even though, it doesn't really have a soul. This brings some life to the project, in my opinion. So there you have it. You've created your last and final project of the course. You should feel very proud of yourself. Let's go ahead and wrap things up with where you can go next with your new Python skills.
All right, give me a second. I just want to catch up. Mr. Walter. All right, this is really cool. I'm liking this now. Man, what a good day. All right, so we're gonna import random, import time. Okay. Space, random. Come on. Why does it show like cover the whole screen? Import time. My goodness. Let's go. All right. And then we're gonna introduce the game. What the game is gonna introduce to us. You press a button, and the program or us, we're the program. We're saying, hey, welcome to my game. Today's game is gonna be the guessing game. We're all sitting around the table, but we do this at my house. We play guessing games all the time. Guess what I'm looking at, guess what color of the item that I'm looking at around the dining room or the living room. We do guessing for the numbers as well. I'm thinking of a number between. We do this all the time while we're at the dinner table just to spark conversation. My kids are younger. But yeah, it's a good time. I'm feeling pumped about this. Let's see. Print hi, welcome to the guessing game. So guess game. I am going to pick a number between 1 and 100. Okay. I'm liking this, man. This is good. And then we're gonna pause for drama. Time. Sleep. 5 seconds. That's a long time, but let's do that. Print. I'm gonna say, man, I'm picking a number right now. Here we go. Sleep. 3 seconds. That's a very slow machine. Print. Thinking the number. And then the guess. Input. Okay. Guess. Correct number. Okay, this is where we're gonna do some adjustments. I'm gonna add correct number. this way. If the correct number, what do we do? You show. Okay. Wrong. You need to guess higher. Okay. Yeah, because they're just low. Okay. I don't want to put wrong because wrong is like a negative. There's a negative tone to it. So, sorry. Yeah. Okay. We'll go from there. Sorry, you need to guess higher. What is your My God. You need to guess higher. What is the next guess? Else. You need to guess lower. What is your guess? Welcome to the guessing game. Let's see what else. Okay. Give this a shot. What is your guess? 76. Drama. Oh no, what's going on here? 3, 1. Okay. I'm picking a number. Input. What is your guess? Oh. Okay, hold on. correct number, I guess. Input. What is the problem here? Is there breaking something? I thought I'm gonna stop. What is your guess? What is your guess? Right here. What is your guess? Oh shoot. I think that should be the number. I have this anymore. It doesn't seem right. Picking the number. Let me see. Picking the number. Guess count. What is your guess? And the correct number. Oh. What is your guess? I see. Guess. Input. What is your guess? Correct number. Random. The rand. 100. Guess count. Wow guess. Not equal. Correct number. Time sleep. Guess count. Plus equals 1. Oh Lord. That's where it stops. So the while was over here, and then the F was over here. Kind of like this. The indentation. basically where it stops. That don't see anything else from there. So something around this area is not the same. Correct number one. Wow, guess. Yeah, I added the. Yeah, it's still good there. Let's see, one discount. So this is where, right here, this section right here is under the G. And it's saying no, saying hell no, don't do this. The guess after that. Nothing broke yet. Alright, so what is your guess? 5. Alright. Oh, sorry. You need to. Whoa. You need to a whole bunch of space to guess higher. What is your a whole bunch of space? Here we go. A whole bunch of space. Hey, welcome to the guessing game. I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 100. I'm picking a number. What is your guess? Boom! 2 seconds. Sorry, you need to guess higher. What is your guess? 6. Sorry, you need to guess higher. What is your guess? 76. 78. Sorry, to get lower. 50. Lower. 45. Lower. 30. Oh, hold on. You see the lower one, how the space is different? Sorry, you get lower. What is your guess? Boom, right there. Let's go. Alright. I'm picking a number. What is your guess? Start with 50. Lower. Nice. Now 25. lower. 12. Okay, between 12 and 25. Lower. 20. Okay. 15. Ooh, getting closer. Between 15 and 20. Alright. This is it. I'm gonna get it. 17. Ooh, higher. 19. Oh! It took you only 8 guesses. Baller. Alright. I think this will do it for me. For today's stream for this Python learning. I want to end it on a high note, but let's see what Mr. Walter has to say for the last of the conclusion here.
And run this again. Hi, welcome to the guessing game. Pick a number between 1 and 100. Picking a number. Even though technically we do not need. Congratulations, you've gone from a complete beginner to now creating full Python projects. If you'd like to keep moving forward and learning Python, I'd really recommend 2 courses on LinkedIn Learning. One is Python Essential Training. This course will teach you some things like how to run Python on your own computer, not just in the browser, and also get you deeper into the Python programming language to up your skills. If you'd like to keep learning Python with me, check out my course, Building a Personal Portfolio with Django. This is a course about creating your own website using Python code. From there, I really think it'd be helpful for you to join a developer community. That way, portfolio with Django.
Okay, building a personal. I'm writing this manually for this as well. Pen and paper, man. Portfolio with Django. I think those are the 2 that I'm going to take next. So I'm going to take the Python Essential Training, and then I'll move over to his other class. He's really good, Mr. Walter. And yeah, I'll give this. I'm going to continue on. I love this feeling of finishing in a high note. The feeling is good. The microscopic step that I took forward is monumental. It feels great. For anybody who is starting or wants to start doing programming, you can see right now from my examples, how slow the process can be when you're starting literally from the ground up. No background in program at all. I've been in manufacturing for over 20 years, and now moved over to another group within my company, and I would like to, experience some of this, programming and see how I could put that skill to use. It's a new world out there. All right, I'm gonna end the stream right here. Thank you. If you're starting off, it cannot get any worse than this. So start, and let me know how things are going, how you're setting up, and let's work together. Let's all build a community here. All right.